just remembered that I've forgotten to tell you about what I read during the Summer Readathon that we had here in Sweden among Swedish bloggers and readers. The readathon was between the 5th and 11th of July, so I think it's well overdue time for me to tell you what I read and how it went. So here it is. I read as much. My TBR pile was a pile of 9 books that I could choose from. Unfortunately, I only got one read. So yeah, the readathon went rather badly, I would say. I only read this book. It's Brick Lane by Monica Ali. I think I butchered her name. But yeah, it's a book of 492 pages. That was what I got read during that week that the readathon was. Unfortunately, I had 2 dentist appointments that week, so I would say that they interfered a bit with the reading. But yeah, so I read this book, Brick Lane. Going into this, I knew it was a bit of a slow read because I've read 200 something pages, I think, during a course at university when I studied English there. We had this as a, what's it called? We had to read this for something there. I can't remember the words right now, but yeah, this was one of the course literatures for the course. So yeah, I read, let's say, 200 pages or something like that, so I knew it was a slow read and a bit of different kind of book than compared to what I'm used to reading. But I finally got this one read, and I gave it 3 cups of tea on my blog and 3 stars on Goodreads at the end, because it was interesting and very good, actually, but not amazing or worth 4 stars, so to speak. But yeah, I'll tell you a bit about the story. It's a book about a girl. We get to know her from when she's born to when she sort of gets to be in her 40s or 50s, I think. Her name is Nazneen. She's born in Bangladesh, in a village there. When she's 18, she gets married off to a man who's 20 years older than her, and they move to his home in London. He is also originally from Bangladesh. But yeah, so when she's 18, she moves to London, in England, that is, but I think you know that. So there she has to adjust to the society as a foreigner, and in the same time she wants to keep her, or rather they as a family, she and her husband, they want to keep their traditions and stuff like that. So she never learns English very good. She learns to, she has trouble speaking English, at least at the end, but she understands English, and yeah, they have 3 children, a boy and 2 daughters. I don't want to give too much of the story away, so yeah. At some part in this book, she gets a lover. It's a young man called Kareem. His parents, at least, I think, were from Bangladesh or India or Pakistan or something like that, but he himself was born in England. But he's a radical and he fights for something, for the Muslims and for the Indians' rights, Indian, Pakistan, East Indian rights in society, in the English society, British society, and he sort of involves Nazneen in this fight, and yeah, it's a contemporary, that much is what I would call it. It takes place from, let's see, it started off in the 1940s or 50s, in the 1960s, sorry, at the end of 1960s, and it ends in 2002, the book. So you sort of get to see a bit, but it's a very small bit, of how the Muslims in Britain could, or maybe were, treated after 9/11, because it is mentioned in this book, and it was very interesting to see how society and people treated each other, and what could have happened or happened in the aftermath of that horrific event. I thought it was an interesting book, and it deals with immigration and how one, as an immigrant, face the new society and how to integrate into this society, and but at the same time try to keep one's one's own the way of life from the country that you come from, in lack of the correct words. So yeah, I like the book. It's not amazing, but it's an interesting read, and the narrative in this is a bit different, because you also get the third person narrator that tells you the story about Nazneen and her life and what happens with her and her family and so forth, and then you get parts where her sister writes to her in letters, and you get to read those letters, and in those letters her sister is spelling I haven't got a clue. It's extremely fun to read them, because the spelling is awful, the grammatics is awful, so you sort of get the point. It's the sense or meaning or that the sister wants to convey that's the important part, and that's also what drives the story forward in this book. And also her sister is the one in the family in Nazneen's family, that is, who married for love, and you get to see how that type of marriage came to be, and also you see how the marriage for Nazneen is or becomes or whatever, seeing that Nazneen didn't marry her husband out of love. Instead it was a business deal in lack of other correct words. She was married off by her father, who found this man. So you can see the big difference between the sisters and their lives, and how their lives develop and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very interesting book. Pick it up if you want to, but bear in mind that it's a very tight font and the text is extremely packed together, and it's a slow read. But if you like immigration stories and stuff like that, this is a book for you. I can also see on the front here that this was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2003. So apparently I've read one of them now. But yeah, so during the Summer Readathon I got this book read, and that's all. But as said, it was a slow read, so that explains a lot why I didn't get much else read. But I liked the book and I didn't want to give it up, but it was a bad choice for a readathon. That much I can say. During readathons, the best thing to do is have easy read books, fast-paced books, and yeah. But I've tried it now, so I'm a bit wiser regarding readathons. So yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you have a great day and that you might, during my ramblings, have found this interesting and might pick it up. It's Brick Lane by Monica Ali. So yeah, happy reading, people. Enjoy the summer. I see you in my next video. Bye!